everyone, welcome back to Open Heart with Noor. It's only me today, so we're going to talk about something that we all experience and never know how to describe. So, before we dive into today's topic, which I'm really excited to talk about, I just want to remind everyone that I would love to hear from you. If you have a story, a situation, or just something you're struggling with, I'd love to um, hear all about it and give you my thoughts on it. So please send it to our email, which you can find on our Instagram account, Open Heart with Noor, and everything will, of course, be anonymous. And I'll be taking the time to talk about anything you guys send over in any future episodes. Let's get into today's topic, which is that weird in between feeling that we're all feel in a stage in our lives where we feel stuck and we feel like we're in a cycle of boredom, restlessness, and maybe even a little bit of a burnout. It's like you're not miserable, but you're also not really exactly happy. You don't want to see anyone, but you also don't want to be alone. And you don't want to stay in, but you also don't want to go out. And maybe you've even hit that point where nothing really feels fun anymore. I'm sure this sounds familiar to some people. No one's alone because everyone has been through this stage in their life. And more importantly, this isn't you just being lazy or you failing. It's actually has to do a lot with your nervous system and how your brain processes stress and stimulation. So, let's talk about why you feel stuck. So, what's actually going on when you feel stuck is a lot of people think stress only looks like anxiety or panic attacks or just feeling overwhelmed, but sometimes it's way more subtle. It can literally show up as a feeling of being numb, restless, or just a kind of, like nothing. Just it's just there. And that's where the cycle starts. So your brain is literally wired to protect you. And when you've been under stress for a while, whether it's from work or a relationship or just life in general, it can get stuck in survival mode. So think of it like you're a phone that has too many applications and you're using them all at once. So instead of completely shutting down, it just starts to slow and, lag. So you're not energized, you're not engaged, you're just kind of floating. There's some kind of fogginess there. So your brain is too overloaded to take in more stimulation, but at the same time, it's craving something new. So that push and pull is what we keep feeling, and that keeps us in that stuck situation. And it can obviously show up in many different ways. So, one that I'm sure many people are experiencing is social burnout. So, you feel bored but don't want to see anyone, not even the people you love. So, your brain is trying to conserve that energy. Another one is restless discontent. So, you don't want to stay at home, but you also don't want to go out, but you're craving something new, but you also feel too drained to do anything. And another one is existential apathy. So nothing feels fun or meaningful. Even things you used to love doing feel pointless at this time. Um, this is often a sign of something way deeper. There's a lot of emotional exhaustion there. So I'm sure these three things or these three ways um, of being stuck sound very familiar. And as I said before, it's not being lazy. This is your nervous system trying to reset itself. It just comes out in different ways for different people. So, the way this affects your motivation is, I think, one of the hardest parts of feeling stuck. It kind of kills completely, just destroys, obliterates your motivation. So you probably have things you want to do or things you need to do. It's like on your to do list, you need to get them done. You have errands you need to run, but there is this invisible wall just between you and actually doing these things. The reason for that is, first, your brain is overloaded, as we said before. When your nervous system is stuck in stress mode, even the simplest tasks feel extremely overwhelming. Another thing is dopamine deficiency. So when your dopamine, um, which is the chemical that makes everything feel exciting and rewarding, so it's a happy um, chemical that is released in your brain. So when your brain isn't producing enough of dopamine, everything just feels dull. Um, Another one is analysis paralysis. So you don't know what you want, so you just keep scrolling, procrastinating, and just waiting for something to change when nothing is, since you are stuck. So the longer you stay in this cycle, the harder it's going to be to break out of. But of course, you can shift your brain into balance, and breaking the loop. So how do you actually get unstuck or break the loop? So the goal isn't to force yourself to be productive because that is going to make it even worse. It's about gently resetting your nervous system. So first, you need to calm your system down. If your brain is overwhelmed, the first step is to slow down your thinking. You need to take deep breaths, stretching, or just sitting in silence for a few minutes and trying to defog your brain and just ground yourself. Sometimes just doing nothing on purpose is more helpful than actually forcing yourself to be productive. Second thing is to engage your senses. So when you feel disconnected, grounding yourself in the present moment can help. You can cook something, take a shower, um, do some self care, step outside, um, just do something where your brain can put all of its focus on that thing. So let's say, hold something cold, like an ice cube. All of your focus is going to be that you're cold, and and your focus is going to be on that ice cube. So these small sensory experiences remind your brain, like, hey, I'm here, I'm safe, everything is fine, and kind of helps you get in touch with your senses. Then you need to start introducing small changes. So if everything feels repetitive, even like tiny changes can make a difference. So try a new recipe, listen to a different type of music genre, or um, some new movies, or take a new route on your walk. Um, your brain literally craves novelty. So you can do these little changes, and it doesn't have to be something drastic. And that will kind of help you get out of that comfortability and kind of adapt to, ah, I'm I'm entering this new stage, kind of. I'm leaving this uncomfortable situation I'm in. And that helps you reconnect with fun. So, when was the last time you did something just for the fun of it? So, watch a nostalgic movie, one of those 2000 movies which I love and is literally my favorite thing to do. And let's say draw, or get those books that you just, the I forgot what they're called. Um, you kind of just paint in patterns. Let's say dance. Just put some music and start dancing in your room, even though you're gonna look silly. Um, it kind of reconnects you to your inner child, which is very important in this stage of trying to reconnect with fun. So anything that sparks a little joy, releasing that dopamine, um, is very important. And even if it sounds tiring and not that exciting at first, your brain will eventually start rewiring itself in that process. Finally, just move, even if it's just a little bit. So, when your energy is stuck, movement can literally help break that cycle. So, it doesn't have to be like a full workout where you just get up and start sweating, and then you can literally just go for a short walk. So, even stretching or just literally tidying your room, which I'm sure is not that clean if you're in that bed stuck and not wanting to do anything. So, get up and just clean your space. And as long as you do that, that's going to change your entire energy and mindset. It can literally shift it from you would feel more in touch with yourself and more organized when your surrounding is clean and fresh. On the other hand, when it's messy and your clothes are everywhere, you are going to feel more stuck than you already do when your energy is stuck. So, you don't have to fix everything in one day, of course. It's all about doing small steps, intentional choices that can help you feel just a little bit more connected, a little bit more present, and just a little bit more you. If you're feeling stuck now, you know, um, you need to just be aware that this is a feeling that doesn't make it you. It's just a feeling that's going to go through you. A feeling doesn't stay there, you know? Um, I saw this post the other day and it was a drawing of a person with a rainbow just going through that person's chest, and that rainbow represented feelings. So a rainbow starts growing, goes through you for a slight second. Some people lasts a bit longer, but ends up going out of you from the other direction back to the ground. So what that image kind of showed me was feelings, emotions are something that pass by either quickly or slowly. Both are fine. Each person feels differently and in their own way, but eventually they will go out from the other end. That sounded so wrong, but I think you know what I mean. Um, and when they do, um, you get new feelings and new emotions and new experiences you're gonna have to go through. So it's fine to feel them and grieve and take your time leaving that stage, but just know that this feeling doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It just means that your body and your brain needs to reset. So start small. Maybe after this episode, take a deep breath or step outside or do something tiny, microscopical that kind of sparks your curiosity. And I'd love to hear from you if this episode resonated with you or if there's something you're struggling with that you want me to cover. Please send it or just write it in the comments. And thank you for spending this time with me today, and I'll see you in next week's episode of Open Hearts with Noor. And until then, please be kind to yourself. Bye, guys.